Philadelphia, are you ready?
He said, are you ready?
This is Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast, your first stop for everything professional wrestling. So sit back and enjoy wrestling talk at its finest with your hosts, Larry Hall and Joe Corrado.
Welcome to another episode of Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast. And on the show today, we have Team Tremendous.
Bill Carr, Dan Barry, make up Team Tremendous. And going into this interview, we just get right into it. So it's not going to be like our normal. Let me say this. It is definitely not going to be like our normal interviews. By any stretch of the imagination, we are so far outside the box on this one that there isn't a box at all.
Yeah.
There is more of a hive.
There's more of a theme that runs through this interview.
There's a theme and there's a hive. There's no box. There's a hive. You'll get the joke. Once you listen, it's entertaining. If you want entertainment in your wrestling, that's exactly what the hell this is.
Yes.
So perk up them ears and let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
Bill called me when he was getting released. Actually, I called him first, I think.
And asked him if he was getting released?
Well, I knew he got released because WWE announced it. So I called, and after about 6 minutes of laughing on the phone, I said, "Hey, man, let me know if you want to wrestle as a team." He hung up, and then I guess 2 days later he realized it was probably a decent idea.
Yeah, that whole 6 minutes, I was pretty much staring down the barrel of a gun until he stopped laughing. I was right about to pull the trigger, too.
Yep.
Still might. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Johnny Ace. Well, I'm not getting signed. I can say whatever I want.
Whatever. Who cares?
They at least give you a going away present?
Yes, they actually did. Normally, whenever you get released, you get 3 months severance pay. They didn't tell me that mine was only 1 month, so that was my going away present.
Surprise!
Yeah, so I stopped receiving checks in the mail, and I was living like I normally was before, because I was expecting, I'll take these 2 months of pay and just stay in Tampa, and then that last month I'll save and I'll move back to New York. So, come by September or October of 2011, and I didn't get that check in the mail. It got pretty scary right there, because I ran out of money real quick, and here we are now.
Here we are now talking about Hale Collins on a podcast.
Yeah.
Who?
Hale Collins.
Oh, Hale Collins. Yeah. Right.
So, fast forward just a tad. You get released. You guys end up working together. I know we've seen you a few times on House of Hardcore shows. Now, how long were you doing them for?
Bill did it before me. He was he did a couple of ones in Poughkeepsie, I guess.
Yeah.
And then one day, I guess Dreamer was having a seminar, and they asked if I would come down and help out. And I thought that was funny because I wasn't booked.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. And then I think he saw that I actually know how to wrestle, and he was like, "Oh, I'll put Dan on the shows."
Well, no, I think it was. I don't even think it was that, because I don't even think I was booked at that point for House of Hardcore. I think we were on a show with him in Canada, and we had asked him to get booked for months, and he was just like, nah. And then he finally saw us wrestle, and he was like, oh, okay, they could do stuff. So,
we did something, and he was like, "I didn't know you guys could move like that." It's like, well, you would have had you booked us.
Yeah.
and then he booked us.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys run into that a lot when you first started teaming? Like, you got like kind of the short end of the stick. Like they see you and you're like, well, this match isn't going to be what we think it's going to be.
We had I think Dreamer booked us as heels first in House of Hardcore because he didn't understand what we were.
Yes.
And so we were like, he wanted us to be villains, and I was like, hey man, like, we're definitely not villains. And he's like, I don't understand how you're cops and not villains. And I'm like, well, that says a lot about society as a whole. But in this case, we are just goofy idiots. And he's like, I mean, all right. And then he watched us wrestle, and he goes, I get it now.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I don't think we did.
No, we still don't. I think the same thing kind of happened with Beyond Wrestling, too. Because we were teaming there for quite some time when they were just doing, like, the studio tapings and some, like, random shows here and there and like, VFW halls in Massachusetts. And Drew Cordero had booked the American Rana card already, and we weren't on it. And we had a match. I forgot who it was again.
It was with Aaron Epic and Sugar Dunkerton.
Yes.
And in that match, Bill had a heart attack, and he just died in the middle of the ring. And then we finished the match without him.
Yeah, that was dead.
And I think I got the crowd to clap, like in Peter Pan, the play, when Tinkerbell dies, and they have to clap her back to life. And the whole thing probably took about 25 minutes, like from the first bell to the last, to like Bill waking up and walking to the back. But for some reason, we had them the whole time. And we got in the back, and Drew Cordero goes, I guess we're booking you on American Rana. I'm like, yeah, we thought so. We just walked away.
And then the rest is history.
Yeah. An unfortunate history involving one Hale Collins.
Who?
Hale Collins?
Oh, Hale Collins.
Yeah.
Hold on, we got to get the door again.
There he is.
I'm waiting until he doesn't use the door and he just starts running through the windows and shit.
I really do think the bees are back has to be a shirt.
It does now. But we need to make it, but never explain it.
Yeah, just a picture of bees.
And it's not, you'll never tag him, so they'll never know it's about him.
Yeah, he has no idea. He's just gonna, one day, some random person is just gonna say, the bees are back, and he's not gonna know what that means. And it'll haunt him until the day he dies.
Yep.
Will he at least get a royalty check on his deathbed?
Absolutely not.
No. It's going on our pro wrestling tees, and we're never explaining it.
Yes. We're gonna get rich off the bees are back.
You'll have at least two shirts purchased.
Yeah.
I think you ever see when someone badmouths Beyonce and then like everyone just comments on it on Twitter with just pictures of bees? I think we should just start doing that to Hale.
That is not a bad idea.
Whatever he tweets, there's just pictures of bees.
Now, I only know him a little bit. Is he the type that would get really mad and confused about that?
Probably.
100%. 100%.
So it could be like the longest, funniest inside running joke going.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what? No, it's funny. Usually we name our episodes the way Friends name their episodes, so the one with, the one where, stuff like that. I think this is going to be the first episode where we name it the one where Hale Collins, and he's not even going to be on the show.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah, 100%.
And he will be really confused about that as well.
I don't know. I was thinking the one with the bees would be better.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
Featuring Hale Collins.
Yeah.
Featuring Hale Collins, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you brought up Beyond and how you got booked. Now, we've seen you on the past season and whatnot. Are there any plans to get back on Beyond for their upcoming season?
If there are, we don't know about them yet. Which is pretty standard for us. We generally find things out right before they happen.
Yeah, usually like last minute.
Yeah, we get a phone call. Hey, are you guys available tonight?
Yeah, it did 20 minutes.
Hey, you guys are on. Your music's playing.
So you guys are full gear 24/7?
Yeah, that's the best part about buying your gear at Target.
Yeah, there's always a Target around, so
Yeah.
it's quite easy.
I just travel. I always wear knee pads and boots. That's the only thing I have to do.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I'm doing laundry as we're doing all this, for the record. I want you to know that's
I am
the kind of old man I am.
That's
I'm
okay.
currently taking pictures of bees.
That's okay. We had
You know what? Hold on. You know what's funny? He just texted me, and he just said he crashed his car. I swear to God.
Watch out with those bees, man. They got in his line of sight.
Oh my God, Dale! Fuck's sake!
this is our first breaking news ever on this show.
It is breaking news. Hale Collins crashed his car for about the 50th time. He does this at least once a month.
He just when your eyesight's filled with bees, man, you just don't know what's going. Oh man. Hey, rest in peace, Dale Collins, man. Yeah. Breaking news, guys.
Jesus Christ. We're not one to get the scoops, but I guess we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take what we can get.
No one told Meltzer yet, right?
I actually just sent Meltzer a picture of bees. So
He's part of the clique now.
Yep.
That's nice. It's always good to have a strong leader as your clique.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What, the bees or Meltzer?
I think we all know he was just talking about the bees.
Yeah, of course.
Come on, Bill, be serious.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So are we the hive then?
Yeah, we're the beehive. The beehive.
What?
This has taken the most weird turn. I don't think I ever could have foreseen this coming.
Yeah.
Well, I've been drinking since 2 p.m., so this is what happens.
Oh, damn, we're behind.
More power to you.
Yeah, it's the beauty of working from home.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so
Oh, man.
try and get this a little bit back on the wrestling topic.
Fuck it.
Okay.
I guess.
So with Beyond, is there anywhere else that you guys like working or prefer to work?
I think we had a lot of fun with like bar wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bar wrestling's fun.
AAW was fun. PWG was fun. We did that twice, so I really don't know if we could say we had a lot of shows there.
I mean,
I guess so.
that's one of the harder ones to get booked on, though, right?
Yeah, do you have any idea?
No, I don't.
I don't know what the rating of this show is, but
Let it fly.
the S some D's.
That works too.
Soak some dogs.
Yep.
I've lost a few dogs in my day, so I know what you're talking about.
Yep, I hear you.
Soaping those dogs.
Oh, God, my fucking head hurts. What were you saying, Larry? Keep going.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think we got the answer I was looking for. All right.
We like wrestling in Canada, too.
Yeah.
We haven't been back there in a long time.
I like wrestling in Ireland. I mean, we did Progress once, and that was fun as hell.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That looks like a really fun place to work, for sure.
How
It was
does
wild, man.
how does that crowd compare to crowds that you've seen over here?
They appreciate a slower pace, which I think is good.
I mean, would you attribute that to us Americans being impatient with everything?
I think that we adopted to like our early Ring of Honor style that eventually became a super spot fest style, and as a result, we just have like constant stimulation thrown at us. But I think that over there, they appreciate the slower World of Sport pace. And while some of the American style has definitely bled its way in there. I think that as a whole, they appreciate a slower, develop your match style.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, when you guys work other tag teams, now do you prefer? Is there a preference, or do you prefer like to work against characters like yourselves, like someone that you can actually like tell a story with, or someone that you just want to get down and wrestle?
So it's weird because we have wrestled some like very wrestling based teams. Like I'll give you an example, like Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Mm-hmm. And then they wanted to do comedy because they don't normally get to do it.
Yeah.
So we prefer just to have good matches. Like I think that's how we look at it. Like you give us a comedy match, we'll make a good comedy match. You give us a straight up wrestling match, we'll have the best straight up wrestling match we can have. But I think that when people wrestle us, they have this expectation of, oh, we get to have fun. So it's kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
So does that...
Let's like to adjust to whatever we can do, I guess. You know, or whatever somebody else wants to do. You know, like you said, if you want us to be bad guys on a show, then, you know, we can do that. You know, so it's always been a goal of mine to be able to adjust to any type of crowd or any type of opponent like wrestling.
Yeah.
So
I think one of my favorite examples of that is we went to Hood Slam and we wrestled the Stoner Brothers. And we're so used to being baby faces that when we got to Oakland, we forgot that they have like a very big, like, I don't want to say anti-cop, but they don't like snitches and that type of stuff.
Yeah, they like to do, there's a lot of drugs going on there.
Yeah, a lot of drugs.
Yeah. So.
And so when we come out as cops, they just start booing us. And I think that he and I were like a little shocked at first, but it became fun.
Yeah.
Now, do you feel you get to do more as a heel?
I enjoy being a heel, yeah.
Yeah, I like being it.
We got to do a last run with Beyond Wrestling was as villains, and I think that was one of the more fun runs that we've had in a while.
Yeah,
definitely.
You guys didn't really take shit from everyone. You guys were more brawlers and sneaks.
Yeah, well, we got to a point where we realized, like, in Beyond Wrestling specifically, Team Tremendous was sort of old hat. And when you're old hat, you have to come to terms with either the fact that you're going to be booked less, or you have to change what you do. And Bill and I are both painfully aware that our trainers were like, you know, DeVito was Bill's trainer. He came from, you know, he had the Carnage crew, he had the Baldies in ECW, so he had like that lineage. My trainer was Mikey Whipwreck, who was ECW Triple Crown champion. So we had this idea of like, let's abandon the police thing and be more, I'll say ECW-ish, but what I really mean is like brawlers who can kind of go in and do whatever and just fight.
Yeah.
And that's what we built our whole team around, was this idea that we weren't going to be funny, we weren't going to be jovial, we were going to be two guys who came in and started throwing punches.
Now, I feel like you really got to show that when you faced the Bird and the Bee on Uncharted territory. I feel like that was the perfect foe, overly over with the crowd they were, and it was easier for you guys to be hated just by beating down on them.
Well, that's all. I think we had a hard time becoming villains until that match. I think that people still liked us.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they were booing Bear Country at a point when we were starting to feud with them. And we got offered the Bird and the Bee, and we were like, yeah, 100%. And we came with the concept of, you know, kind of making the crowd feel more sympathy for them. So I would even, like, subtle things, like I just started messing up their makeup while we were beating them up. And that's just something small that people are going to be like, oh, man, he doesn't really care about them at all. And then Bill killed Solo. So,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We bring it all back to the Bird and the Beehive.
Yep, back to those bees.
And then onward from there, I mean, you had the more matches with Bear Country. Now, working Bear Country, that's kind of a similar size. That's like a meat match. How do you go into a match like that? Now you want to eliminate all the comedy because you know it's going to be a slugfest.
Which is why whenever we started matches with them after we had turned into the villains that we became, it became more of like we came in and started throwing punches.
Yeah.
They were the first group that we were allowed to do that with because it's like they could take punches and, you know, we come in throwing swings that they can throw back and, you know.
Yeah, nobody was really doing that to them. They were kind of just running through everybody at the time, so
yeah, they were
just starting hot every time we were in the ring with them was, gave us a chance to show that,
we're not
they're not
slapstick.
going to run through us.
Yeah, you're not just the slapstick comedy. You're more than that.
Yeah.
I think in a sense it's easy to tell the story of like how they're very much like we were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They came in out of nowhere. They won over the crowd in their first appearance. They started mowing through tag teams. And it's like, that's who we were. That's what Team Tremendous was and beyond. So the story's kind of easy of us being the team that feels like we're being replaced by this new team and they're using the exact same formula.
Yep.
Now, touching on the tag teams in the independents, I mean, do you feel like it's harder to get booked because there's not as many tag teams?
I don't know. I think that me and Bill for a long time had no problems getting booked as a tag team. I think that it boils down to like need. The hard thing about a tag team is that we are 2 flights, 2 hotel, or 2 flights. We can have 1 hotel, but we're kind of expensive just to get out.
Yeah.
So that's where we come into the problem.
And you don't want to work for free.
No, and we won't, right? Like, so we have to work out a deal that makes sense for everybody, and then when that works, we just run with it. AAW was pretty good with us working with that. When we worked Progress, we set up a great deal for ourselves to get out there, and we have. I'm not trying to be inside baseball. I'm not talking money, but I'm saying like what you have to go through as a team to kind of get like booked the first time. And then hopefully you're good enough that you can come back for 2.
Yeah.
But it started me and Bill being in the car for an extended period of time every weekend.
Yeah, pretty much.
I put 40,000 miles a year in my car I had before this one.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was pretty quick.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep.
So now, coming up, obviously, is WrestleMania. But WrestleMania has turned into a completely different beast now with all these independent companies coming together and kind of just everyone running all their shows for the first 3 days of the weekend. What a difference the wrestling scene has become from when you guys started to now. Are you guys booked for down in Tampa at all?
Yeah, we have we have 2
3
shows booked for. We're booked for ICW No Hold Barred show on Thursday, which is at midnight, and we're working the Carnage Crew, which is their first match in probably at least 8 years, I'd say.
Jeez.
Maybe longer. So I'm really excited about that, obviously, because, DeVito is my trainer.
And it's funny because the Carnage Crew's a lot like what me and Bill molded ourselves after when we were doing the Beyond team.
Yeah.
When we started being as heels, it was like that Carnage Crew mentality. Yeah. So
it's kind of like full circle. Now, when you get down to Tampa and you get into that match, will you know how you're booked? Will you be like Beyond tag team booking?
We're doing whatever we want. We're coming in. I think me and Bill have the idea of coming in as our Beyond gimmick because it's just... this is not the type of match where we're going to have finger guns and all other stuff. We're going in to throw bombs and
we're going to bleed. We're going to bleed everywhere.
Yeah, we've already threatened them with blood.
Yes.
Also, we've threatened them with bees.
Yes, we have.
Those stingers are a bitch to get out.
Goddamn right they are.
Just ask Cal Collins.
Yep.
This has been a long-running Hale Collins joke wrapped in somewhat of a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why we're talking about wrestling.
Honestly, I just did it just because it's the first or third name in our name, so I kind of just sprinkled it in there. but
I mean, I guess.
I kind of like where it tailed off of.
So it's great.
Now, along with your other bookings down in Mania, will you keep the same style, or will you just kind of mix it up night by night?
I think we're having fun. We're having a lot of fun. We have one match that we can't talk about yet.
Damn it!
And then we have one that we're sort of uncertain on. But for Joey Ryan's penis party, we're not going to come out as death metal Dan Barry and Bill Carr.
Yeah.
The other match, I think we should be our police selves, but we haven't talked about that yet.
I think we'll be maybe a mix of both.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a mix of both. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll switch it up.
You know what? Let's just wrestle as the Steiner brothers. Yeah, let's run. So for the Mania weekend, I have comedy with Mick Foley on Wednesday night. We have ICW on Thursday. I'm doing commentary on Ethan Page's Body Guy show on Friday. Then we have...
I'll be partaking in EC3, Drake Maverick, and Braun Strowman. They're having a live podcast, I believe, at one of the bars in the Ybor City area. I'm not 100% sure what is going to happen.
It's an unofficial FCW documentary.
Yeah, something like that. So I'll be there for that.
So we got breaking news that Hale Collins crashed his car, and that you will be doing a podcast with EC3, Drake Maverick, and Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
This is the...
Hale Collins crashed his car.
This is the show that... I think you guys got a new gimmick. I think you need to carry the beehive and come out as the beekeepers.
Not a good idea.
And our finish would be called What's the Buzz?
Release the bees. We trap people's heads in cages and we release the bees like in the bees.
Like in Wicker Man. That's our entrance music, just that scene on the loop.
Not the bees.
The bees! No!
I like that a lot.
Oh, God.
Always reinventing ourselves.
That might be the one that sticks, though.
That's the one that gets Vince noticing us.
Yeah.
Of all the...
That's what's going to get us hired by the WWE is the bee gimmick.
If this was the mid-'90s, I think he'd be a shoo-in.
Honestly, I think Vince is going to be like, we need new killer bees. And then Triple H is going to be like, they already exist.
Yeah, I got the guys for you.
Good news, Vince.
Yeah.
You guys could have Jim Johnston do your entrance music, just a bunch of buzz noise.
Yeah, we're just going to put a microphone near some high-voltage power lines to symbolize the sound. Because I don't want to risk Jim Johnston's life to get our bee noises.
He's kind of a dick.
Yeah, whatever, fuck him. Am I allowed to swear? I'm just going to do it, but I'm asking if I'm allowed to.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, good.
I was waiting for like a big Tourette's tantrum.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for, too.
I was waiting.
No, I'm a mature adult.
I was waiting for that scene in fucking Old School. Cock balls.
Just gonna be Eric Cartman when he gets his swear implants put in and he starts getting electrical powers.
Yeah, I bet you that's a good idea. It's real good.
Barbara Streisand.
All right, so guys, before we let you go, if you want to give out your social media accounts and have people follow you.
Well, that already don't already.
That already don't already, of course.
Yeah,
just give out
you can
help.
follow us at aewrestling.com.
Are they giving out Hale Collins' social media?
HaleCollins.net. Yeah,
.edu.
Yeah, that's just a live feed of beehives.
I'm Dan Barry on Twitter and Instagram.
And I am at WWE Dutch because I won't change my name until I get forced to by somebody, but I doubt that'll happen. Yeah, and that's at Twitter and Instagram as well.
And before we let you go, I mean, you did mention it. Is there any plans to hopefully get signed? Is that in the books, or are you just happy doing the independents?
Oh yeah, we're gonna announce that soon.
What?
We're gonna announce our signing soon.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, yeah, forgot about that.
Any day now.
Yeah.
This guy is running the Staples Center, RWA Wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
We got that message too.
Yeah, we got that message too. They're going to pay us $25,000 a month.
Nice, nice. Congrats. Welcome to the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad deal.
No, man.
Not a bad deal.
That's
I mean,
like
you get to scrape money together to get by.
Yeah.
that's like 7 times more than what I make now.
Oh, good.
I wonder if they know I'm worth more.
They have no idea. They're just throwing money around. They got that Ted Turner money.
Yeah.
So
It's a good thing to have.
Yeah.
we'll all be working for WCW soon, guys.
Goddamn right.
Can we can be your beekeeper managers.
Hell yeah.
Instead of like the corporate ministry when they used to follow Undertaker, we'll be the beehives that follow Hale Collins.
Oh, yeah.
It was B. Austin.
Oh, man. I just had that image in my head. Him taking off the hood, and there's no face, just a big beehive. The bees coming out of his face, coming out of his hood.
All right.
Perfect way to end this.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for taking the time and talking with us and making us almost pee ourselves laughing.
Hey.
You know what? Why don't you, on air right now, just piss yourself?
This is, you'd call it your Hale Collins piss tribute.
Piss tribute. Oh, that's great.
I feel like peeing yourself for radio isn't the same.
Yeah, I don't think it has the same
Hey,
effect.
Howard Stern got away with it.
Yeah,
That's true.
True. That's very true.
Oh, man. All right, well, I'm going to go back to folded underwear.
Well, thank you again, guys. It really was a lot of fun, and we really appreciate you taking the time for us.
No problem. Shout out Hale Collins.
Anytime. Who?
Hale Collins?
Oh, Hale Collins.
We got to let him in again. God damn it.
Oh, boy.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good one, guys.
Anytime. Take it easy.
And there you have it.
You know what the funny thing is going into
that whole fucking interview.
That
was the
whole
funny
interview,
thing.
and going into it, we knew through Vic Delicious, who's been on our show a couple times, and we asked him to help us out, and we thought, all right, well, they know Vic, so they're going to probably talk about Vic. And they started talking about Hale Collins, and Hale Collins and the Bees were the theme of the show. I did not expect to say Hale's name that often.
I don't know. I don't know what I expected. I knew Team Tremendous going to this, and I knew that what they brought to the table. Mm-hmm. This completely surpassed what I thought this was going to be, and this was basically just one long-running joke of a show.
Yes. Yeah.
This was fun. Hey, look, if you didn't like it, I fucking had a great time. So this is what I'm here for.
Look, I was laughing so hard. I did not expect that. I know they're gimmick and beyond, but you don't know that they're going to be not even that funny, just on like that. It just the entire time.
Yep.
So, I mean...
What more could you ask for?
Yeah. I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as we did, because we had a blast. I would love to get them back on. And
I'll throw this out there. That was top 3.
It was a lot of fun. So hopefully we can get them back on and talk about more nonsense. And
hey, but they did say that they do have announcements coming up.
Yes.
Actually, they gave us secret date of what could possibly happen Mania weekend. So if you're going to be down there Mania weekend and you're not doing anything that night, make sure you check them out with, I don't know, EC3, Drake Maverick, and fucking Braun Strowman.
Yes. Yeah.
What a freaking lineup that is. That sounds like fun.
It does. A lot of fun.
It doesn't even matter at the wrestling at that point. That just sounds like fun listening to them. If you like them on our show, I bet you're going to love them on that show.
Yes, absolutely. So we thoroughly enjoyed that. We hope you guys did too. And I think that'll wrap the show up.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
We got nothing else to say. I mean, that was pretty much, that was gold.
Yeah, absolutely. So we hope you enjoyed, and we'll be talking to you very soon.
Later!